Welcome to the Chamber's Candidate Interview Series. I'm Christy Moore, and I serve as the president of the Dawson County Chamber of Commerce. On June 9th, the primary election will be held in Georgia, and early voting begins May 18th. In Dawson County, there are many local elections on the ballot. You may always view your sample ballot and polling location by visiting mvp.sos.ga.gov. One of the main areas of focus of our Chamber strategic plan is advocacy. While we would typically host a forum for all candidates, due to the current pandemic and out of an abundance of caution that prioritizes the health of the candidates as well as our staff, we are hosting in-depth candidate interviews instead. All candidates who are running for an office for which more than one candidate is running were invited to be interviewed. As a nonpartisan organization, we take seriously our role to promote issues of benefit to our businesses and community, as well as support the promotion of information about upcoming elections. The Chamber does not endorse a particular party nor particular candidates. We have worked diligently to ensure that these candidate interviews are fair to the participants and informative to our members and audience. Candidates were not given the questions prior to being interviewed. Questions were submitted by Chamber members and were predetermined by the Chamber's Advocacy Committee. Similar to a forum, each candidate will be given 3 minutes to give an opening statement and will have 2 minutes to answer each question. Today, I am joined by Tyler Tolin, who is running to be the next state representative for District 9. Tyler, would you like to kick us off with your opening statement?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I just want to say thank you for you guys giving me this time this morning in the chamber. It's always a blessing anytime you get a chance just to talk and get to know folks in the area. Just a little bit about myself. I live up in the Lumpkin-Dawson line. I am the only disabled combat veteran that's running for state office. I look forward to hopefully being blessed that you guys can put me in the state capitol so I can continue to fight for the rights of just the common people.
Absolutely. Well, to start things off, why don't you share with us why you would like to be a state representative?
Why I would like to be a state representative for many reasons. One, I believe with my experience, I think one of the lost ideas that people get lost on is what the state rep actually does. One of the biggest jobs the state rep is supposed to do is it's supposed to get with the leaders, the mayors, the county commissions, the chambers, and what they do is with the sheriff and also the church leaders. A lot of people forget that leadership in church is highly important in the growth and the development of the area. What the state rep is supposed to do is kind of be the solidifier to get all of those different organizations together and kind of find the exact view of the direction that the county wants to grow in. And also be that voice where if it's too fast or if it's too slow or something, we can kind of steer a different way, and then bring that to the Capitol and then fight for those funds within the Capitol from the state. I believe is my military experience, because what that job really entails is basically like a platoon sergeant or a first sergeant. I served both those billets in both the Marine Corps and the Army. And what that basically does is it covers the beans, the Band-Aids, and the bullets. Just the logistics, understanding how people work and bring together a team. I have those experiences, and that's why I would like to run and be elected to the state house. I also believe, just in the vision, both of Dawson, Lumpkin, and North Forsyth. I see that both are very different styles of growth, and be able to manage both those styles evenly for the people, because it's the people really that needs to have the voice and the direction in which they want their counties to grow.
Absolutely. Well, you've spoken a little bit about this, but please share your experience, particularly in public service and building consensus, that qualifies you to run for this position.
Well, with my previous 2 careers, I served also in Africa, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And just the consensus and seeing how struggling governments form, and being in a room and with Shia and Sunni and Kurds and Christians, all wanting a piece of the pie, and just watching the ambassadors kind of work through that and getting it was an awesome experience. One of the things too is that public service has always been my life, so I understand exactly what it means to actually serve the public. The public is the 99% that don't own the big businesses, that don't own the corporations. And I understand that because that's where I come from. So I understand that going to them and being able to listen to them and get their views and being able to make sure that they're taken care of.
Absolutely. Well, following up on that, if elected, how will you maintain accessibility for your constituents?
That is actually one of my favorite questions, because a lot of people, I go around and I always ask questions because I get asked a lot of questions and I like to ask questions. So one of the things I always say is, when's the last time you've seen your state rep, or when's the last time you've seen your congressional rep? And most people tell me that they never have, or they don't even know who they are. So my job, what I want to do is I want to make sure that that problem gets fixed. I want everybody to know, even if it's not me that doesn't get elected, I want everybody to know who their state reps and their state senators and their elected officials in the federal capital. One of the things that I've learned in both my careers is we have what's called after action review. Anytime we do a mission or anytime we do any type of training, we always ask 3 questions: what was supposed to happen, what did happen, and how can we make it better? So one of the things that I want to bring to the people is, before and after every session, I'm going to write everything down and I'm going to hold town halls and discuss these things with them. I'm going to say, hey, look, this is what was on the ballot. This is how I voted. Do you guys agree, or do you not or do you agree or disagree? And then it's going to be the general consensus going into the next session. My phone is always on. I always answer my own calls. I don't have a staff. I answer all my Facebook, all my social media. I do it all. I believe in accessibility. I believe at this point, if you're running and you can't get a hold of your person already, then that's probably not a good idea, how things are going to look from when they get to the state capitol.
Absolutely. Well, our community here in Dawson County is blessed with a strong local sales tax base. The Education Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, which we call eSPLOST locally, has generated funds that have allowed our school system to build beautiful buildings like the new College and Career Academy and put an iPad in the hands of every student, kindergarten through 12th grade. Currently, state law only allows eSPLOST to be spent on bricks and mortar projects, textbooks, school buses, and technology, but not salaries. Would you support giving eSPLOST flexibility so schools can hire additional staff and faculty?
Absolutely. I believe with the teachers, it needs to be more competitive. A teacher's salary should always, I would say, increase every year based off performance and based off, the way that their students are learning. Teachers are I would say that's like your front line of going into life. Your teachers are the ones that are molding your kids when you're not. And I like to see more teachers throughout the area be able to come into Dawsonville or compete and be able to keep the teachers that we have in Dawson. I believe, just have bricks and mortars and textbooks. Those are only a small portion of what actually needs to be done in schools. Without teachers and quality teachers, then we're just never going to get ahead. So I'm 100% behind raising and securing and having flexibility within salaries of the teachers.
Thank you. Well, as our state continues to grow, particularly north of Atlanta, where the 9th district is, transportation infrastructure becomes increasingly important. If elected, how do you intend to advocate for increased funding from the Department of Transportation?
One of the biggest things I would think about when coming to funding is getting with the chambers and getting with the county commissioners and actually deciding and actually having a plan of what type of growth Dawson's looking for. I would believe to have all my ducks in a line and all my ammo before I would go for the state and ask for these funds. I want to go and get a solid, comprehensive plan and the vision of Dawson and the vision of Lumpkin and the vision of Northside, Forsyth That way, when I go to the state capitol and I start really fighting hard, I want to make sure all my ducks are in a row. So I would definitely get with and stay with and design that plan with the counties and say, okay, listen, here's the infrastructure that we need. What do we need? Where are we putting? Where are we going to be at in 1 year? How are we going to look in 5 years? Where in 10 years do you guys want to be? Is this too fast or is this too slow on growth? Let's really spend the time to really get down to the exact plan before we go anywhere. And once I have that exact plan, then I can take that to the Capitol and then just hammer it home and get the funds that are needed for these projects.
Absolutely. Well, for 2020, the Tax Foundation ranked Georgia 32nd in their state business tax climate index. This index is designed to rank how well states structure their tax systems and reflects the following variables: corporate tax, individual income tax, sales tax, unemployment insurance tax, and property tax. Recognizing that there are many different ranking systems, are there specific areas within the state government that you feel could be reduced or modified in order to ease unnecessary regulations, restrictions, and financial burdens upon Georgia's businesses?
Yes. If you take something just like at the time that we're at right now, there's always going to be uncharted territory. So if you sometimes you have to just think outside the box, and that's how my experience is, because when things happen overseas, you don't have like a Walmart to go to fix things. You always have to think outside the box. So for me, if we take something like this year with COVID, we have business owners that are getting crushed right now. They don't have an income, but yet they're still required to pay property taxes and sales taxes and all those. So my thing would be, well, why can't we just pass legislation to relieve business owners from having to pay any type of taxes until the following year? That way, when they make the money, they can keep that money and recoup it and put it back into their businesses. As far as things like I've seen in the area with property taxes, the issue I've seen so far is I would like to see some type of a homestead or some type of reward for longevity within the counties. I've talked to families that have been here 40, 50 years, but their property taxes go up. And I don't think that's fair. One of the things I would say is after a certain time, you should have your property tax capped. That way you can be rewarded because you and your family are putting into the community. You have strong family ties to the community, and you shouldn't have to keep having your property tax increased. So I would definitely look at something at some type of a homestead or some type of a cap on longevity within the counties.
Interesting. Well, as we've experienced in the last few months, and as we're doing right now, socially distancing, access to broadband is vitally important. Telemedicine, long distance learning, and economic development all require access to high-speed internet. If elected, what are your ideas for improving access to broadband in your district and throughout the state?
I have the same issue as a disabled veteran. I have to use the VA out of Oakwood, and then I have to have telemedicine, and then I have to talk to, different specialties, special care people. And my broadband, I can never really get through anyways. One of the issues that I've seen is only Windstream has been allowed to operate in this area. I don't know why that's happened. Nobody's ever given me the honest answer. So I would like to do some digging. I believe in a fair and open market. If Windstream, Comcast, AT&T, any type of Wi-Fi, they should be allowed to operate within the area. And then if they want customers, and then they should have really good rates and awesome customer service. I've spoken to one of my friends. We've discussed the issue with the cell phone towers. He actually builds cell phone towers. And he said all you would really have to do as far as cell phone and cell phone coverage going down 400 is just appropriating places to put the cell phone towers. Nobody's ever even looked into that. So as far as having also some type of a backup too for the Wi-Fi, if something goes down, you need to make sure you got second and third type. Are they going to be able to put maintenance guys in the area in case of a bad storm? So there's a lot of complex things, but I think if you open up the market companies that can actually compete will come in and actually give great customer service and lower prices, because if a consumer has multiple places to go, then they're going to shop for the best deal with the best service.
Absolutely. Well, as I'm sure you've experienced being a resident here, Dawson County is home to the longest operating corn maze in the state, Uncle Shucks, one of the top fall agritourism destinations, Bert's Pumpkin Farm, the tallest cascading waterfall east of the Mississippi, Amicalola Falls, and of course, the North Georgia Premium Outlets. Georgia's ninth House District is home to many other agritourism and tourism destinations. If elected, how do you propose to promote and foster the sustainability and growth of tourism throughout the state of Georgia, given that it has such a great impact within Dawson, Lumpkin, and Forsyth counties?
Well, that kind of goes back to one of my previous statements. So the state rep would have to, if it's myself, you have to get with the mayors and the commissioners and the people and say, okay, listen, if we're going to try to grow something, these are off limits. You can't touch these things. Now, nobody wants concrete jungles, so you have to make sure that those things are secure. So I would never push for any type of issue that would ever take away from the natural beauty that God has given us. I believe instead of people say, well, you need slow growth, some people say you need fast growth, I would probably tend to say more what is manageable, because there's certain things, when it's managed, and say, okay, well, if we want to put something here, well, that's too close to Amicalola Falls or too close to the pumpkin farm. So I would just say there would never be an issue if I was elected that those things would always be off limits. And, that way, when the tourism people come, they can enjoy what they see. They can come and invest and put money back into our community, and then just enjoy the beauty.
Absolutely. Well, if elected, what do you envision for your role in advocating for the businesses in your district? And is there one particular business issue that you plan to champion?
One of the biggest ones I really want to issues, I know we're not, as far as Dawson, and I don't know if we would probably not ever want some big, huge, mega, like car manufacturing plant, but I would like to see some type of 25 to 300 type companies come in and put some people from the county in these jobs, in these careers. I would like to find ways to try to really entice them to come to this area. I don't know if it's something where we can talk about taking a 5-year average on tax and then make them pay whatever the average is on the tax for corporate taxes, or maybe subsidize or do some type of a land issue where we can cut the costs down and let them open up. But I like to see some more businesses at that 25 to 300 range start coming in and really start to put my fellow district members to work and let them have high paying jobs to really help out the community. As far as the other local businesses, I know during this time, a lot of them have been crushed. So I'd like to see some type of ways to kind of help them out. They're already saying across the nation that 40% of businesses are not going to open their doors after this is over. And that's just horrible. A lot of business owners have put their life savings and have really dedicated their lives to their businesses, and have it gone, I really don't think is right. So I would try to find some type of help or some relief for them. But I would like to see Dawson grow with businesses, but nothing super mega to kind of make it, kind of a, where we got core manufacturing plants coming in and ruining things. I would like to see, just nice, 25 to 300 type businesses, entice them to come in and really, put the district back to work.
That leads well into our next question. By the federal definition of small business, which is having 500 or fewer employees, all Dawson County businesses are small, and I would venture to guess that all businesses within the 9th District are small. Please share with us why a small business owner in this district should vote for you.
Why they should vote for me is just because I'm one of the people that are their employees. Like, I understand how things work. I'm not a big business owner. I'm not a small business owner. I'm just a regular, retired disabled veteran. Why they should vote for me is because I will give them the same fight that I brought overseas to the Capitol. I'll make sure that their rights are always taken care of, that we can sit down and we can discuss ways to make sure that their business is improved. Because if their business is improved, the district improves. We'll always make sure that there's ways and they have access to me to make sure that they can grow and they can take care of their people. And when they take care of their employees, that just benefits everybody. So if they want, I will always guarantee, and I will always put my oath on it, that they will always be taken care of, and I will always make sure that they are able to grow with whatever they need.
Thank you. Well, as we come to a close, please share with us anything maybe we didn't cover, or also share your closing statement.
Just in closing, I just want to say, we have basically just two choices when it comes down to this race. You have, the what my old sergeant major used to talk about was the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, that's what applies to this election. You have the typical banker and the lawyers trying to go to the Capitol, and if we vote for them, because I'm a voter also, what are we going to do? We're going to send them and expect different results. Or this time in this race, you have somebody that's just like me. I'm a disabled combat veteran that fought for my country all over the world. I know what it means to serve. I know what it means to swear an oath, and I know what it means to work for the people. And that's all I'm asking during this election is, you just have two choices. I'm just asking that I can be and blessed to be that choice.
Absolutely. Well, we've really enjoyed this conversation with you. Share with our viewers where they can get in touch with you or find out more about your campaign.
I have the website is Tolin2020.com. On Facebook, it's Tolin for Georgia. Anytime you send a question or a message, it's me I'm the one that answers. I don't have any robocalls. I don't have any staff that's working. It's just you call, it's me. We can go have lunch. We can talk. I'll come to your house. I'll do, whatever it is, whatever question you have, I'll always answer it.
Well, thank you, Tyler. We really appreciate your time.